All right. Good evening, ladies and gents. This is the 16-ounce podcast. I am Duvet.
And I'm Jay. We're just gonna hit this real quick on two ads. We're sponsored by Gameheads United, GHU Game Station. You can check them out on Facebook at GameheadsUnited.com, and you can check them out at GHU Game Station, gaming trailer for all weathers. And then we are also sponsored by Trainwreck Fitness Co. Make sure to check them out on Instagram at Trainwreck, all capitals _fitness with two S's CO. And today we have a very special guest, and I'm very thankful. We both are that he joined us today.
Oh, for sure.
Jared Vanderaa. Thank you, man. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate being on it.
Yeah. Also, I want to say congratulations on your was JJ World League second place, right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's doing a lot more than everybody else, man. So at least you're staying active. That's neat. But congrats on it's second place, but it's still better than most, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just a little upset that the last round, and I'm not mad at the guy. I lost to what's called advantage.
Yeah.
Basically, we both attempted to go for moves and submissions, and because he attempted one more time, he won. And I was just like, that sucks. But I can't you can't fault the guy for just
doing
trying
what he's got to do.
Yeah. So, but thank you guys for giving me some knowledge on that.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's like I said, some people say it's second place and it's not first, but at the end of the day, that's huge still. There's a lot of people that would love to even finish second place or third place or
that
anywhere
is
on
true.
those rankings.
That is true.
So I have a couple questions, and then whatever Duvet has, and
yeah, man,
and then whatever you want to say. So, one thing I have for you is how I know you've been in the UFC for what, about a year, 2 years. So,
yep.
How was like the process of like transitioning into like the Dana White Contender Series where you won over Harry Hunsucker, right?
Yes.
And then like how was getting into that process?
Honestly, not crazy because it came down to my manager.
Okay.
A lot of people don't like to hear it, but have a good manager.
Yeah.
Like that is the best way for people to get anywhere in the sport is have a good manager. And my manager made moves, got me into the UFC after the Contender Series, and the transition and all that stuff was done relatively easy. Had no complaints. And honestly, how they run the company and how the people are there, they're sweet. They make it. They make the adjustments very smooth, and they just make you feel like you're part of the team. There's not one point where I felt like they disrespected me or they looked down on me because I was a new guy. All they did was show me some love. So the transition and all that stuff was pretty easy for me.
I mean, that's cool. The Contender Series has to be interesting, right? Because it's almost like post COVID, where it's just like there's nobody there except for you, the guy in front of you, Dana, and some other people, but it's not anything like it is, being in a real fight. So, is that quietness anything different? Is it better? Worse?
It's the best way to put it was the fight itself is a lot like training.
Yeah.
So when you're training, there's no fans. There's no one around to support you. There's no love. It's just you, training partners, and that's it. Like if we're all training together, we're not going to cheer for each other every time we throw a punch, throw a kick, take down each other. It's just quiet. Like some places play music. I know the gym I own, I play music constantly. But there are other gyms where I know music isn't played at all.
Yeah.
So it just so it was kind of one of those things where it felt like it was a sparring match without, but with major stakes versus without any consequences or actions like what happens in practice.
Yeah, and like anything count against you, kind of. I mean, yeah, it just always seemed weird, like just looking into it, as in like when you see a lot of when you go back a few years ago, like I said, post COVID, like the first fight in Florida, there's nobody there and it's just quiet and you can hear everything. You can hear the other coaches what they're yelling to the fighters and stuff, and it's just like,
Yeah, it was kind of a different experience.
yeah.
To
So I was
like,
just kind of wondering if that's like the same
yeah,
atmosphere, the quiet versus all that noise. I mean, I got other questions, but if you got anything for him.
oh yeah. I was gonna ask for like the Contender Series, like, I already know that training got to be like rigorous as it is already, but and like something like that that's so like fast paced, and it's all depending on who you face in like such a short amount of time. Like how was the training? Trying to train for every fight, every opponent, like sometimes so fast. Like those adjustments, I would feel like have to be so like hard at like so fast. Like how were you able to deal with all that like rigorous training, like just continuously, trying to keep up that pace?
All right, so this one comes down to just being consistent. I like constantly in the gym. So when you're training and stuff, you, the rigor, like it's just another day. I'm constantly training, and tomorrow constantly training. It's always that. So when I'm taking step 1 to step 2, it's just training. Now, one thing I've learned in my 6 camps, leading up to my last one. Um, so I kind of kept the training hard and stuff, but I realized that what I was doing wasn't doing me well, and I went on like a I was like 1-4. So my last fight, I actually moved to East. And while I was training there, I didn't feel like I was doing too much different things. When I was training, I realized I was just training with so much better people.
Yeah.
And because I was training with better guys, forced me to train harder because I had to do certain things or I had to go out of my comfort zone in attempts to beat these gentlemen and just practice. And it's not like we're like, okay, well, from what we're told at Kings, we go out for blood, but from sorry about that. My kids try and crawl up on me.
Oh no, you're all right.
So when I was training for my last fight, it was a lot harder of a camp due to the fact that the people I was training with were just monsters. And because they were monsters, I had to elevate my game up. There are definitely a few things that I'm still working to improve, but I did notice that like all the training I have been doing kind of fell in comparison when I'm training with guys, a bunch of guys that are a lot better than me in one category or another.
Yep. Yeah, you're always as good. They always say you're as good, if not better, than the people that you're around. So, when you surround yourself around, people that want to win or people that are, bigger or better, if you want to say that sense, that helps out a lot. And especially like if, you want to work on your BJJ or wrestling, if somebody's better than you here, that guy's going to make you better on top of it, which is neat.
Yeah, and it was nice to have those people around.
Yeah. So I know I think I've heard you say you're moving down to light heavyweight, or you want to. Is it for sure?
I'm going to attempt to. That's for sure. I'm going to attempt to. I'm a little under 265 right now. If you know me previously, when I used to fight, after all my fights, I would blow up back to 280. or heavier.
Yeah.
So the fact that I've maintained the 265 mark or under, and I've been trying to give it somewhat of a start last week. This week's been kind of rough just because it is the Christmas week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily,
Holidays are terrible.
I'm not new. Yeah, for me, holidays end after Christmas because I genuinely don't believe New Year's as a holiday.
Yeah.
I've always hated. For me, it's just like, oh, look at the calendar flopped or the years.
Yep.
For me, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But New Year's is one of those I have to I usually just kind of blow off in a sense where I'll be back on track fully again next week
Yeah.
on dropping the weight.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep myself busy to use it as markers to drop weight. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I see I seen your call out, which was absolutely adorable and hilarious with Anthony Smith. That that cracks me up. That kind of I seen that and that made me laugh, and I was like, seeing you down at light heavyweight. I mean, I love watching you at heavyweight. That fight against Costa was a very fun fight to watch. I mean, all your fights are. I know you fought at light heavyweight one time. I think one other time in your career, right? Like in the beginning, not in the UFC, but you're like way back in the beginning.
I didn't fight. I have not fought light heavyweight.
Yeah, it was in the amateur, right?
Yeah, like a good 3 to 5 years. I was at light heavyweight.
Okay.
So when I was definitely younger,
yeah,
I was there. But
now
it's we have a cut.
Yeah. So this is kind of just like something I see a lot of people like on your TikToks. I always see people either wanting to leg kick you or you leg kicking people. Is that like is that always like something like people that come to your gym always want to do, either be leg kicked or leg kick you? Because I know your leg kicks are
lethal,
unbelievable. So I mean, I see you say like 80%, but sometimes at 80%, I don't know if it's a real 80% or a 10%. I don't.
Most of them are usually below 50%.
Okay.
I don't ever throw with full bad intentions.
Yeah.
And it's just something we do to mess around, and I started recording myself doing that. There's one person I'm actually considering trying to do this with. I think that would be a fun one. But I have to talk to him about it when he's training with me again.
Okay.
But I think him and I would have a fun time doing it.
Leg kick to leg kick, see who stands longer.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know, man. That's unbelievable.
I'm not favoring myself. The person I'm thinking. The reason why I'm not giving you guys it because I kind of want it to be a surprise.
No, I understand.
And I think everyone would.
No, yeah, no, I always see him, man, and I see your leg kicks, and I'm like, God damn, I would not. Like, part of me wants to be on that end and be like, what does 10% or 15% feel like?
Never.
But then at the same time, I'm like,
I love watching.
That shit gotta hurt. I mean, I've been leg kicked before, but obviously not by someone 6'4", 260.
Yeah, no. I love watching.
One of my favorites when I was working the bar scene, I was a bouncer. And one of my regulars, he would always like tell people, it's like, oh, this guy's a fighter, he's a badass, blah 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 blah. And then I'm like, hey, I'll give you $100, and if you need to, I'll let you go to your car, do a line of coke, and I'm kicking the shit out of you. He's like, no. I'm like, I'll give you $100 right here. He goes, no. He goes, I'd rather walk. I'm like, well, I'm giving you money. He goes, I've seen you kicking people not at 100% and them not walking. So no. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, man. I like I said, I always see that and it just cracks me up because I'm like, God, that's really it's gotta be painful. I mean, but hey, so somebody that, of your size, I can't imagine it tickles. You do shin
I try to make
conditioning
it
or
careful.
anything like that, like Wonder Boy does, or no?
Kind of. I've sadly taken a slight bit of a downturn from it because of my tattoos on my shins.
Okay.
But I'm actually planning on starting that back up again, going back to kicking my tire and stuff like that.
Okay, do you rake your shins or no?
Uh, kind of. It's for me. It's not. I'd rather kick tires than rake my shins because I don't feel like it's as helpful. If anything, I usually just tap my shins with a. But I mean, they're not like blasting taps. I'm just doing it enough to like you feel it, get the pain, but not put yourself like in crutches for a week.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine that feels good in any way, shape, or form. Um, the last question I have is what got you started into wanting to become a fighter, and then like what kind of made you want to take it further?
So I kind of grew up kind of fighting and just, I could give you that, like I was bullied and picked on and all that bullshit. But no, I liked fighting. And yeah, I had a lot of issues with a lot of people, and especially with like the way I talk because I have a slur. Everyone is like, oh, like I've always been asked, oh, where are you from? I'm like, here, motherfucker. And they're like, but your accent. I'm like, I don't have an accent. I just sound fucked up. And then growing up, I've always been accused of being a drunk when I was at the bar. Oh my God, how many times like, you are the most drunk person here. You're slurring your words. I'm like, bitch, it's speech impediment. I know I'm slurring my words. I have recognized this. But all the doctors on TikTok was like, oh, it's CTE. I'm like, first of all, do you guys not know the evolution of CTE? No? Okay, then shut the fuck up. Can you even break down the acronym of CTE without Googling it? No? Okay, then you don't know shit about it. Oh, slurred words is the last sign of it.
Yeah.
Everything else, you just want to ignore. I'm just like, nah.
Well, I guess I said that was my last question, but what my one other question is like, so after fights, I mean, obviously they're worried about head damage and brain damage and stuff like that. Like, what's the process, I guess, after a fight when you've taken good damage?
It depends on. Okay, so after a fight, uh, you go to the medical doctor and they look at you. Now, I will say, like, this isn't, I'm not saying this to create any issues with the doctor. I didn't like what my last doctor gave me. So after every match, amateur and pro, you visit a doctor. The doctor basically gives you suspensions and whatnot. My last doctor gave me a 30-40 day, which is common if the fight's a very hard fight. Now, for me, I like a lot of the punches I took in the fight were grazing punches, meaning they didn't land flush, but they landed
Yeah,
like on the
kind of rip.
cheek and slid off. Yeah, so I was given a 45-day suspension.
Mm.
Now, like that pissed me off though, because when Chase fought him, it was like 2-3 weeks later, and I'm like, I know how many times I kicked him, and I know how badly he's hurt.
Yeah.
And if you ever actually watch that fight, anytime Chase kicked him, you could see the pain in his face.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm not mad at Waldo for sucking that shit up and taking it and going out there and performing. No, I'm not mad at him. Congratulations on him. But the simple fact is, you could literally see him limping into the fight. And I'm like, I'm fully recovered. I'm at home. I'm like, bitch, I am fully recovered. You're literally limping into this fight.
That's a good point.
And like,
It is a very good point.
I'm like, yeah, I'm not mad at it. I just like you could literally watch him in the walkout, and like his body's moving left and right. I'm like, ooh, he's still fucked up.
Yeah, I mean
knew,
it. No, good.
I was like, I knew it was bad when one of his coaches came up to mine, like when we ran into each other in the casino. He goes, "Yeah, my boy can't walk right now. He's in crutches." And then I'm going out. I'm with the family, with my coach. We're having fun. I'm like, yeah. They're like, how's him? He's like, yeah, he's fine. Like,
looks great.
Like, yeah, like I had some cut on my nose, and that was about it. And if you ever see any of my fights, I bleed.
Oh yeah,
like bleeding it comes with my territory. And for the simple fact that I wasn't just spewing out blood that fight, I'm just like, like clearly it wasn't as bad as everyone thought it was.
I thought it was. I didn't think like I've seen a lot of people saying, you know, like, a lot of people were like a big in favor of Waldo, but like yeah, you were bleeding a little bit, but it wasn't like you said, it wasn't anything crazy. Like usually there's blood everywhere, and you're just one of those people that bleed easily and rip open, and it's just like, I mean, what are you gonna do? But that fight definitely, he didn't damage you as much as I think a lot of people think he did.
Yeah, and like it's just one of those things where I know my leg kicks were hurting him versus his punches hurting me.
Yeah,
and if you put like damage, think damage is number one criteria of fights, I think I damaged him more.
I agree.
It's just visually being as pacey as I am, I cut very easy. A good hard breeze cuts me. And I'm like, you can't, like, that's not a very good equivalent. Plus, being cut, you know, most of the time don't actually hurt.
Yeah.
Those cuts on our face, like, it's great for the crowd. It's great for people. But honestly, in pain-wise, not that big of a deal.
We were just talking about that.
I was gonna say we were just talking because obviously, you know, the Paddy Pimblett fight was a big toss up in the air, big question on like damage wise, because he doesn't really, for him, like as much as Flash was beating the shit out of him and punching him in the face, like he didn't look bad. he for some reason that guy can take all the punches in the world and might have one black and blue spot on his face, and if the judges go based off of how you look, like that's just. I don't know. Yeah, we were talking about it last week on our last episode. It's just like some people bleed very easily, like you said, like you do. And then you got Paddy who gets the shit kicked out of him and
he looks fine.
Like
he just took a walk.
And if you go look at the scorecards and you say, well, he was out damaged, it just doesn't show on his face. How can you judge based off the guy's face? It blows my mind.
Exactly.
But,
yeah,
you know.
There's just certain things like that need to be addressed. But, I mean, it happens. It's not really, you know, anything we could do about it right now. We just kind of address it. You know, eventually we'll work our way down the road to figuring something out a little bit better.
I mean, the famous words of all coaches is don't let the fight go to the judges.
Yeah. And easier said than done.
Oh, 100%.
You got another in there trying not to go to the judges.
Yeah.
And you're both trying to kill each other, but try and do it in a meticulous, artful way where it's like, I'm trying to kill you.
Yeah.
You're trying to kill me. We got this amount of time to do it.
Yep.
All right. Okay. He's trying to kill me this way. I'm going to stop it by killing him this way. Okay. We're tied.
Yep. Yeah. No, it definitely is a lot easier said than done. But, you know, I mean, like I said, it's just, it sucks with the way the judges have been recently. It's like you don't want to go. So you're going to get some fighters that are going to just throw themselves in the way of like immediate danger because they don't want to go to the judges. And it's like, what are you doing? You're winning. Like Izzy versus Pereira. Izzy was winning that fight and throws himself in immediate danger with Pereira. And well, look how that ended. You know, it's
Yeah,
sometimes you
but
don't want to do those things.
but I mean, Alex and Izzy, I think both wanted that finish under their belt. Regardless, I don't think they wanted the judge, so
Yeah.
they're like, I'll put myself out there. And like, I get a lot of shit for this online. Like, oh, why didn't you do this? And when I was like, I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to get myself killed. And I start over analyzing everything. Like that is one of my biggest flaws. Is it's like I know what to do, but I'm like, if I do this, his reaction should be A, B, and C. He should be able to do this. And people think, oh, why don't you just like for me, like it bothers me how much leg kicks I could throw in a fight because I feel like why don't more people check my leg kicks?
Mhm.
Watch my whole fucking you watch 3 fights of mine. I'll tell you this. There's only been one fight out of 40 something fights I've had that I have not attempted or wanted to throw a kick.
Oh wow, that's
One
huge.
fight. Actually, I do think I threw a kick in that fight, but for the most part, yeah, one fight, and that was the Olenek fight. My coach was like, "Do not throw a kick."
that
Boxing.
that guy's. I mean, he's a big boy too.
Yeah. But he was just like he if he catches your kick, you're getting taken down. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. But it's the only fight I've never thrown a kick. Every other fight I have thrown kicks in.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay. I expect when I go out there to have someone check my kick. Why isn't this fucker checking? All right. It took like Waldo, I think, 10 to maybe 20 leg kicks before he checked one.
At that point, there's no point. I mean, well, I guess because you're not probably don't have feeling in your leg after that
Man, I
many
can
leg
imagine
kicks.
that.
Oh yeah, no. I think when he checked, he was like, you know what? I'm better off just taking this because it was one of those things where I just like I overthink everything,
Yeah.
and it's actually a big reason why I haven't wrestled as much because a lot of my partners, I have very good wrestling partners, very good. But the problem is when you shoot on a D1 level wrestler and you're not a D1 level wrestler,
That's
so
tough.
anytime it just brings down that confidence. It breaks you down. I'm just like, fuck. I'm like, but then again, it's like some of the people I'm fighting aren't D level 1 wrestlers. So I'm thinking if I shoot now, he's gonna sprawl on me. Not realizing that he might sprawl on me, but are his hips as good as my training partner? Or is his ground like all these things start playing in my mind. I'm just like, I can't. And then eventually, you're just like, instead of thinking about that, let's just punch him in the face.
Yeah, you don't have to think about that. I mean, except where his next punch is coming from. But all you got to worry about is if I hit him, hey, he ain't gonna do shit.
Not at all. I guess for me, like, I'm more of a fan than anything, you know. So if there's like one guy that you would like to fight, like just,
Just a stand and bang kind of
yeah,
fight.
just like a stand and bang type thing, like you just want to go tit for tat with, like who would that be? Just like out of like just...
over him.
Oh yeah. That sounds great. I like that one.
I've been a big fan. So fighting over him would be like for me one of the top, highlights of my career. I mean, I'm still in awe that I still fought Orlowski. Like,
yeah.
I still think to myself, I'm like, fuck, I fought Orlowski. I'm like, that's fucking cool.
Growing up, that was one of my favorite like heavyweights of all. I mean, he still is one of my favorite heavyweights of all time, man. And watching you two in the ring together was a lot of fun because he's just a cool dude. I mean, you're a great dude too, and it's just like I don't know, personalities in the middle of the ring were a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah, I mean, like I watched that fight and I watched the Costa fight. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I like watching the Orlowski fight. I'm like, I could have done more. Watching the Costa fight, I'm like, I won that fight. So it like it's weird because like seeing like the results of what other people have, like it was a unanimous decision loss. Granted, fuck whoever gave Waldo 30-27. All right.
Yeah.
Like I would have been completely fine if everyone gave him the 28-29 thing that we had. I was fine with that. Like I could understand that. But oh, well, yeah. You're not supposed to be in here. I'll play in the toilet.
I mean, yeah, with that fight versus Waldo, I mean, round 1 was close. So, I mean, I guess I could see round 1 going either way. I definitely think round 2 was yours, and I think round 3 was another close one. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Like I will be fair. I gave Waldo round 1 hands down. 100%. There's not a piece of me that's like, oh, you won that. Like I did some damage. Like don't get me wrong. I visually watched him. I'm landing some shots, doing some damage. I'm like, but there was no big activity between him and I. Like there was a few skirmishes, but I'm like, nothing too crazy. Second round, I'm like, I'm picking up win. Da, 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 da. Now, third, it was kind of like not reserved, but I'm just like, okay. He goes, I attack and finish. He goes, I attack and finish. I'm like, cool. I'm, building up. I'm hurting him. So I could kind of get where someone might be like, oh, Waldo was aggressive, but Jared attacked him. So it's like, I get 1 and 3, but there's not just, yeah, fuck whoever gave me 30-27. That's all I'm going with on that one.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like I said, that round 2 was definitely yours. Round 3, round 1, it definitely was close, but I would have gave it to him too. But round 3, I think on your counter punches and takedown defense and all that stuff, I definitely think you won round 3 too. I would have gave you 2-3, and I would have gave him 1. But that goes back to the bad judging. So
exactly,
it is what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, like I could have at least understood that, or that one being a split decision fight. And again, like it's just that one ref. I think if he went 28-29, I think I would have been a lot more cool with it. I could have been like, maybe I didn't pick enough. I didn't do enough in the third. It's like I could be like, I could have done a little extra. But just fuck that judge.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Nah, man, that was it for me. I'm good. Yeah.
Well, I'm all good. You got anything for us, Jared? Anything at all?
Not currently.
Okay.
But I do want to say thank you guys for having me on the show. Great time. If you allow me back, I would love to do another one with you guys.
Always. No, this was great.
Thank you for everyone that's listening. If you want to follow me, I'm on all the major social medias under Jared Vanderaa. I do suck at responding to people, so don't take that back. You'll just be behind 100 other people that I don't respond to because I'm a terrible person.
Well, you did great for us, so we appreciate
it. We appreciate you, man.
In fairness,
like I said, it was a shot in the dark. So and you answered and you came in, man. I really truly appreciate it. It's huge for us, and to take the time out and talk to us is genuinely a great thing. I know a lot of people that we told we're super excited. So I know
this is gonna be something.
Yeah, we really appreciate you. And anytime, I mean, we can get together and figure out another date that you want to come on or anything like that, and we'll always be right there waiting to have a conversation with you again.
Yeah, always, man.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, Jared. We appreciate you, man. I hope you have a great holiday.
Yeah.
You guys too.
And can't wait to talk to you again, man.
Likewise, and Merry Christmas to you and your families.
Thanks,
same to you, man. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Yeah. Well, there we have it with
Jared Vanderaa.
Jared Vanderaa.
Yeah, that was
the mountain.
Yeah, that was I mean, I like the guy, man. Genuine, great dude.
So like anyone that knows me personally, like I watch UFC fights with, I always anytime he's on even though he's on a 4-fight losing streak, anytime he's on a card,
Gotta watch it.
I put money on him to win. Like
Yeah.
because his fights, yeah, like the Olenek fight, he got choked out. But as he said himself, he's working on his wrestling. He's doing some things.
Evolving.
That dude's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
He is just them leg kicks.
Dude, that's what I like.
Dude's a freak. I mean, he's fucking nasty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It was honestly like, this was a short and sweet episode, but just the experience of talking to him and, getting on the close, like, getting inside the fighter's mind like that, and he's just so laid back. It was awesome. I think such a great dude.
He doesn't change. And what I like, and this is going to make me a fan forever.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't have been, but
man.
this kind of makes me like, this makes it just that much sweeter.
Hell yeah.
And what I like too is that like the way he talks in his press conferences, the way he talks in anything going up the fights, the way he talks on social media didn't change from him talking to us.
Nope.
Like he's just, like you said, laid back. He's funny.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
like he's just
he stayed to himself.
Yeah, and I really enjoy that, man. He's just a great person, and I mean, I'm sure I'll hit him up and we'll get him back on again.
Yeah, more opportunities always, man.
We'll make sure to tag him in all of our when we post it all over Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, the whole nine. Because he's just a great person, and we really I know we say it a lot, but we really appreciate this because.
Yeah, I'm kind of still starstruck a little bit.
We're two guys, 16 episodes in, 17.
Yeah, man, like we're
17 episodes in.
Yeah, we're still early. Like I said, like we hope, like God willing, we get to 50, we get to 100 by then. We'll probably be having a night. Probably be there. You know what I mean?
I hope so, man. We've all been reaching out. I'm trying to reach out to more people too, and trying to figure out some other things. But this is our first major
guest.
sort of guest / interview. Like, I mean, I'm still in shock now.
Yeah, but
because like, it's not like I just reached out to somebody that like. Yeah. I mean, listen, I would if it came down to it, I would still talk to some people, even though I can't stand them.
Yeah, of course, like that's the whole that's what we do. This is the field that we signed up for. So, but like. It's just this is like I said, man. Like for him to take his time, take the time out of his day to come do this is awesome. And honestly, wouldn't have the opportunity, like we always say every week, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to do shit like this. So, always appreciative of you and the support you give us. So we're gonna enjoy this one, and right back at trying to make some more content and trying to get some more guests and keep plugging through episodes. This was a big one right here. So right before Christmas, y'all get a good listen and a good little interview to enjoy too.
Yeah, especially because most people be stuck in their houses if you live in New York.
Yeah, man.
Iowa, Kansas, they're like, I think Iowa's getting like -50.
Yeah, dude.
Some shit, fuck that.
Like we got a state of emergency up here right now. Or tomorrow starts at 7 a.m. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know about snow wise, I don't know about snow totals. I just know it's gonna be like freezing, like really, really cold. So I don't know. I gotta keep an eye on the weather. But
yeah, anyone traveling, safe travels.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't think there's gonna be a travel ban.
But I know a lot of flights have been canceled and whatnot too.
Oh yeah, it's freezing weather.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be in a plane with winds like that. I'll keep it a buck.
Dude,
I'm afraid of heights. I've never been in an airplane, but
I
tell you what, the first time I be flying ain't no goddamn time in the middle.
Yeah,
of December.
and like I mean, tomorrow's more about the freezing, but Saturday and Sunday that's all about the snow. So
yeah, dude, they're talking about like 27-foot waves in the middle of Lake Erie.
It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah,
it's gonna be real nuts.
Mind.
So everybody stay safe. Have a great holiday. Christmas is this weekend. Don't do nothing stupid. Enjoy your families. But yeah, I mean,
and then I have one last thing. Unless there's anything you want to talk about.
Oh no.
Sports wise,
Oh, no, I'm good.
We
Like,
just kind of came in for this episode to do the interview with him.
mm-hmm.
We didn't really have no outline or nothing. I just had questions. He had questions, and that was kind of it.
Yeah, we just wanted to enjoy the
Yeah.
guest this week.
Is that we do have merch available. Well, not I don't have it with me yet, but
it's coming.
What we are doing, how I would like to do it for right now is we're selling shirts, hoodies, and hats.
Yep.
Shirts are extra small to 2X. Hoodies are extra small to 2X.
Mm-hmm.
And then hats are snapbacks, trucker style hats. They are one size fits most, kind of like this.
Yep.
Shirts are $22, hoodies are $40, hats are $35. If you would like to place an order, you can get me on Instagram. If you have my personal phone number, you can hit me up on my personal phone. You can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, or you can email us at 16ounce podcast. It's 16OZ podcast@gmail.com, all lowercase.
There you go.
How we are doing it though is I would like the money. I'm placing the order on 1/7, so I'm giving everyone kind of like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I would like the money up front. This way, it just makes everything way smoother. I'll get everything shipped to me and then ship everything out to people that live in different states.
Yep.
And that's kind of really all I got. If you want to see what the merch looks like, it's all over all our social sites.
Yeah.
If not, then next week, what I'll do for the next episode, I could probably pull it up on my phone and show you what it looks like. Actually, I could probably do it right now. Let me see if I can pull it up. So let's see. Oh, they're not going to be able to really see that. All right, whatever. Well, next week I'll have some papers printed out of like what our merch looks like front and back, but they're really just our logo. On a hat, it says 16ounce podcast with MMA gloves and boxing gloves. On the actual hoodie, it's the whole green lights background with the 16ounce podcast, and it says hosted by Duvet and Jay. With the one that we usually post on all our sites. And then we have our sponsors on the back of the shirts. They won't let us put them on the back of the hoodie. So on the back of the shirts, we have our two sponsors, Game Heads United, GHU Game Station, and then we also have Trainwreck Fitness, and then it has all our socials underneath that as well. So once again, if you want to order any of that, hit myself up or any of our social sites, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat would be my personal one, TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it. And then, like I said, our email, 16ounce podcast, 16OZ podcast@gmail.com, all lowercases. So,
Yep. But that's it, man. Y'all already know how we roll this out. Happy holidays. Stay safe. Enjoy your families and enjoy the company that you're with. And, we'll see y'all next week.
Yes,
right
sir.
Again.
Hey.
So,
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Happy New Year.
off.
And Jay, out.